Hey yo, what the deal, my people? You know this is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you with another one. And this one is Talking Game of Thrones. And I'm back, motherfuckers. And I'm back with my motherfucking man, 50 grand. My man, my boy, ain't seen him in a while. I know you ain't seen him in a while either. But we up in this piece right now. My man, Mo Genie. What is the deal, homie?
What's going on, folks? It's Moji the King in office, Mo Genie, baby. And I'm here with the man himself, Tony Teflon. Love doing these. I've been MIA for a little bit, but I had to come chill with my man Teflon. What's good?
You know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby. Happy to see you back and shit. We back up in this thing. You know how we do. Moji is the co-host of Song of Ice and Fire Pyramid. Funny story about the first Song of Ice and Fire Pyramid. I'll run through it real quick, how that even went about. The Mo Genie was supposed to be co-hosting that with me, and the first matchup was supposed to be the Night Hype Swats versus the NSSS, the Not So Silent Sisters. And then when that was going down, what happened was Christina the Sphinx's baby had won some game. So they all went out celebrating, so she couldn't make it. So Mo had to step in on her team and rep with Monero Geek TV. Luckily for me, I had a set of questions that Mo did not see because I have like 6-7 episodes already ready to go. So I just went to that episode. Mo filled in perfectly. Monero, I almost won it. You almost pulled it off right there too. So I almost pulled that off. Almost beat them right there on some late notice then, you know. So I didn't say nothing, but Don Willie told me that Christina was afraid, that she admitted it to him at some point, that she was afraid to face him. Did you hear that too, Mo? That's what Don Willie told me. You heard that too, right?
Yeah, I heard some things, man. I heard some things, and you know, the pyramid game, we should have came back. Me and Monero was doing our thing, you know, but it just didn't happen. It didn't come to pass that day. So, you know, I really enjoyed doing that, man. We need to get that popping some more.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get that back on. We trying to get that within this week or next week or the week after. Maybe record 2 shows, you know, back to back. That way I can just put them out and that, you know what I mean? Kind of like what the game shows do themselves, you know, record multiple shows in one day and then I can just get them out there and stuff like that. So this, obviously, I did not tell anybody that I'm doing this. We just put this on. I just put this on because I just get the feeling sometimes just to come up here and talk to y'all about Game of Thrones. So probably not a lot of people watching right now, but I will head over right now to the chat to take a look at who is over here joining us right now in the chat. 1 second right now. And I would like to say, what up to the girl Amber Chipman? What up to Renee M? What up to Lord Commander Alicia Keeson? AK. What happened to AK's? What happened to AK's wrench? She's supposed to be wrenched up there. What happened? She took that off? What's going on? What up to Tony Toka? What up to Manny Montaigne? What up to Rick Hunt? What up to all my people out here watching us? What up to CJ Wares? What up to everybody? You know what I mean? You know, me and Mo, we back up in this piece, man, and we here to talk Game of Thrones. So if you got any questions, please leave them up there in the chat. You know what I mean? We are definitely answering all questions, doing all that, you know what I mean? And doing all that real quick. There's a quick question, not about Game of Thrones. We're gonna take this one anyway. It's about Mayweather versus McGregor. What do you think? We're gonna answer this real quick, Mo. Can you just answer the Mayweather-McGregor fight question? If it were to happen, what do you think would happen?
Excuse me while I eat this ice cream. Too good. But, yeah, the McGregor-Mayweather fight, I mean, you know, we don't really talk too much about sports on this channel. You know, Teflon is strictly the Thrones material. But every once in a while, we love to talk about some of our favorite fighters. And, man, if this fight were to ever go down, it could be something as big as Rumble in the Jungle. This is something that you would never expect to happen. You know, they gave Mayweather the option of, you know, if you want to take the fight, we'll give you $20 million. Well, Mayweather makes $100 million a fight. Why would he take a measly $20 million to risk everything to fight Conor McGregor? The fight doesn't help Mayweather and his stardom. It helps McGregor's stardom. So Dana White, I think, was a little, you know, foolish for actually putting a number on what they would give Mayweather to take the fight. You'd have to go, you know, the purse would have to be a 90%, 10% split for Mayweather to ever take the fight. If it were to happen, And if they decided not to go to the ground and it was just striking, boxing, fighting with the fists, I think Mayweather would be too good for him. But if there's a mix of stuff, you know, you can't even compare an MMA fighter and a boxer, Teflon.
Yeah, if it happens, it's definitely happening in the boxing ring. That's the only way it will happen. It's not a fight in my estimation. I think Mayweather knocks him out probably about whenever he feels like it. I mean, he'll probably toy with him for a little bit, and then he would knock him out. Bottom line is, I'm not going to go through. I don't really have to go through the skill set of this fighter and the skill set of that fighter. We can debate that. People can debate that all they want. All I really got to do is say one thing. Floyd Mayweather is always in shape. He goes 12 rounds in his sleep. I seen Conor McGregor gassed after one fucking 5-minute round. Gassed. Barely keep his hands up. He has no chance to beat this man. Floyd Mayweather's gift is that he don't get tired. He comes in shape. You're not going to beat that man. You're not going to be able to last. Within 6 minutes, you're going to be drained. He's going to pick you apart. Fight over. That's the way it goes. It really would be like that. You know what I mean? So it just ain't a fight. You know what I mean? It's you know, go watch that movie, The Great White Height. I would suggest you watch that movie if you haven't seen it. Watch that movie. That's exactly what would be with Conor McGregor. It's a perfect movie for that, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's a funny movie from the 90s. Samuel L. Jackson was in that, just because Samuel L. Jackson is in every movie in the 90s, and that's one he's particularly in that I like. You know, yeah. And I think it was one of the Baldwin brothers.
Jamie Foxx, Samuel L. Jackson, Damon Wayans.
Mm-hmm.
Damon Wayans was in there. That movie was great, man. That movie is no doubt was good. You know what I mean?
That movie is actually, it's giving a nod to the 1970s film with James Earl Jones, The Great White Hope.
Yes, that was with Jimmy Walker. All right. No.
Johnson. It was a film about James Johnson, the first black heavyweight fighter.
Yes. That's when he starred in it himself as Jack Johnson.
Yes, that's Jack Johnson. Yeah.
Yes. There was another movie that came out with Jimmy Walker, boxing movie with Jimmy. What was a setup movie with Jimmy Walker all skinny and stuff like that and knocking people out. I forgot what the name of that movie was, but that came out in the 70s. But that was a good movie too. It's dealing with boxing and stuff like that. We're going to take one more boxing question. Then we're going to get right into Game of Thrones, people, I promise. Next question, real quick from boxing, is Triple G versus Floyd Mayweather. Mo, what do you think about that?
Well, I've been more into MMA lately. I have not been following Triple G, but I do know he is the contender. He is up there. And, Floyd now is not in his prime. But as you said, his gift is his stamina. His physical body is in such a great shape for a man of his age. Most fighters peak in their late 20s. Floyd Mayweather is 34, 35 now?
Yeah.
36.
Past that. I think probably 37, 38.
Father time waits for no one. Time always catches up with you. The reason I think Floyd Mayweather took the last fight that he took was it was a weaker fighter, and it was his last hurrah, and he wanted to get that 50 or whatever it was record. Triple G is a powerful person, and I think that if Floyd doesn't have that speed as he had in his younger youth, I think Triple G might tag him a little bit, Teflon.
All right, so it goes down like this. Triple G's a naturally bigger man than Floyd Mayweather. It really isn't a fight that Floyd Mayweather has to take or should take it. Or Floyd Mayweather started his career as a junior lightweight and moved up all the way to welterweight. He did fight junior middleweight when he fought Canelo Alvarez, but he just did that for the dough. He's not really that big of a man to be fighting these guys. Triple G's just too big for him to fight. So I wouldn't want Floyd to take that fight. But if he did take that fight, I mean, Triple G definitely has the puncher's chance to win the fight. But that's the only chance he has is the puncher's chance. And the fact that Floyd Mayweather is aging right now. That'd be the only thing. Triple G to me hasn't fought anybody worth anything in his whole career. There's no one on his resume that I look at that is comparable to the people that Floyd Mayweather or people in his division has fought. In fact, when he fights Daniel Jacobs, it'll be the first time that he ever fights anyone to me that has anything. If he beats Danny Jacobs, then I will say that he finally has beaten someone worth anything. Curtis Stevens, David Lemieux, these guys mean nothing. These are no fights. These are fights, of course, he's going to win. We finally will see him versus Danny Jacobs, someone his own size that can punch. And we'll see what happens because he likes to pick on these smaller fighters. Him and Canelo Alvarez both like to pick on these smaller fighters. Let's see what happens when they finally get in there with someone their own size. All right, we are done with boxing, my people, and we are going right to Game of Thrones question time. We're going to go through this chat. Usually, Mo Genie is the one who be holding down the chat and stuff like that. No, it don't be me holding down the chat. Usually, it's Mo Genie doing that. But I'm going to take a look in here myself real quick. And see what we got up here. Uptown Saturday Night was the answer to that movie with Jimmy Walker. Thank you, fam. Good for that right there. What you have any death predictions for season 7? Mo Genie, give me one. Give me a big death that people aren't thinking is gonna happen. That's gonna happen this upcoming season.
You know, I don't want to keep rehashing what I believe is happening to Littlefinger. You know, I've stayed away from the spoilers except the spoiler pictures back in August, September when I did some of my last videos. I think my last video was in October or something like that. Those are the leaks I've seen. I haven't seen anything after that. So I'm trying to keep this a surprise for myself for when the season starts. But back then, the reason we didn't see Littlefinger in a lot of those leaked pictures is I believe because Littlefinger's dead. Or he's on the run and he is going to die. But if I were to pick anybody else other than Littlefinger, that would be a major death. I think it'll be one of my favorite characters. She was somebody that we kind of don't know what's going to happen to her because at the end of the last book, you know, Dance with Dragons or Feast for Crows, you know, there's a little bit of hanging suspense for her. I believe Brienne might have a death in season 7, Teflon.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. That's exactly what I was going to say right now. I had to think of someone who's gonna go. And we're talking about 7 episodes, so halfway through the season, someone that would have to just go and get out of that. Brienne seems to fit the bill. I really want Bran to die. And I've been predicting this motherfucker's death for 3 seasons now, and he just won't stop. He won't die. This motherfucker baby kids, man. This Bran, I don't know how he survives, but he does. He keeps surviving. He must have some video of Dan and Dave doing something when they were drunk after hours, because there ain't no reason for him to be in the show anymore, but he is still there. So, you know, I'm not yet Bran. That's who I'm talking about. I am not going to take most person. He said Bree first. So I'm going to go back to Bran and say that Bran dies this season. That will be the person that gets taken out from Tony Teflon to die. I don't think that people will think it's taken out this season. I think he goes in this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bran, that character has been so stretched out from the books. You know, this guy's been collecting a paycheck that I believe he just didn't deserve. You know, the actor was so good that they kept him around. He's got about 3 paragraphs in all of the books, you know, but the actor was so great they kept him around. And, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing him to the end. You know, I wouldn't mind actually seeing him partner up with Jon Snow. I mean, that would be sweet, I think, for Bran to leave Jaime's side and go to Jon's side. I think they could do some real swashbuckling pirate stuff together, you know. So, yeah, him. And Brienne, I just think she's going to die saving Jaime, as someone alluded to in the chat. I mean, I think the writing's on the wall. She's going to either die trying to save Pod or trying to save Jaime, in my opinion.
Well, we got Jaime, you know, what's this prophecy that he wants to die in the arms of the woman he loves. So, you know, I think that I had predicted Brienne in the books, and we're going straight from the books. My prediction with Brienne is that she's with the Brotherhood without banners right now. They got Jaime. I predict that they would force them to fight and that she would just fall on Jaime's sword. And then that's how she would die at that particular time, and she'd die in front of Jaime and stuff. And then he would go off to do what he's doing. You know what I mean? So I'm still gonna go along those lines. That somehow I know he wants to die in the arms of the woman he loves, but I think that she's going to die in the arms of the man that she loves, and that's the way it's going to happen. She's going to sacrifice herself for Jaime. I think it has to go down like that. I can't really see them getting out of that situation any other way of it going down, unless they're going to kill all the Brotherhood without banners. But I don't think that's possible for them to do that. So that's where I'll go with that.
Yeah, and if you guys have looked through my catalog of videos, if you've watched my Valonqar video, you know I already believe Brienne's the Valonqar. I'm not going to get into details of that now. If you want to know why I think she's the Valonqar, you can go check out the video. And yeah, there's just a lot of things that lead to her doing that, Teflon. I definitely ride with you on one of those scenarios happening.
No doubt. So talking about videos and channels to check out real quick, check out Moji Mo's channel for those videos. He's got a couple of great theories out there. And then you go out there and check it out. That way, Mo, get back up in the game. Also, Sir Ryan Vine, homeboy of mine, subscribe mine, started making his own videos and makes damn good videos. He has moved his channel. Is now called the House of Vine Podcast. So please go find his channel. Christina the Sphinx, Monero Geek TV. Let me tell you something about this real quick. This Monero Geek TV just did a 8-hour stream yesterday. 8 hours straight.
Wow.
Right. And this, I don't know what was going on up in there, but I know I got caught up in it. I did get caught up in it. And it had a lot of fun. So I'm not gonna go. Just go watch it. It's a lot of fun. You know, it was a lot of fun. I had a great time in there, and you know, so you should go check them out when they do their streams, because you don't know what the hell they're gonna start talking about. I will just say, let me quote T-Bag. In fact, I'll give a couple of quotes throughout this show of mine right here of what was going on in the chat. One quote I'll give you from T-Baby is, "Do any of y'all want to fuck your brother?" That is what. Another quote I'll give from Timo was, "I love my big titties." That's what she said. So if you want to hear talk like that, and I like talk like that, definitely go check out Monero Geek After Dark. I think it's what it's called. Monero After Dark. Check that out real quick. But 8 hours, oh my God, son. I know me and you talked about going there. I think they took down the Kraken Witch record there. I think I've seen Don the Krakenwood up in the chat. What up, Don? It's good with you. Hopefully I will see you at this Game of Thrones con when I get down there. And Don will be most likely attending the Game of Thrones con. So if y'all would like to meet the Don in person, please arrive at the Game of Thrones con in Virginia. And you will see me in person. And I'll shake your hand and say what up to you. Have a drink with you. You know what I mean? That's the way it goes. All right, we going back to these questions, Mo. We going back to it, man.
Yeah, I put 3 of the questions in our chat.
All right, let me go. I was looking at the chat. Let me come over. Can you read them out? Because I haven't even got that pulled up, man.
Yeah, we got a question here from Curtis Williams. He asked, when The Winds of Winter comes out, will you do a full review of the book or go by chapter, characters, or both?
I probably would go, well, me personally, answering that question, I would probably do the things that confirm my theories first, or make my theories not work. I would probably go right to those things, because I'm going to read the book right from the beginning, and as soon as I hit on something, I'll probably stop and do a video of it. So most likely chapter by chapter. I'm not going to wait till I get through the whole book to start doing videos. So most likely it'd be chapter by chapter, but I would definitely be hitting the stuff that confirms or dispels my theories and stuff. What up, Facepalm Scrub in the chat? What about you, Mo? How you gonna run it?
Well, you know me, I can't half-ass a video. When I do my videos, I go head first. I'm looking to read all that content. I'm looking to digest every nook and cranny, every pea and berry in that book, break it down, and I will do a video by specific point of views when that book comes out. I mean, you know, you could do a stop and read here and there, but I don't want to have to do a video and then, you know, some more questions come out and then I got no answers for it because I didn't finish the book. So I want to just eat it all up, Teflon.
Yeah, no doubt. I got, I gotta, start talking about some things. I ain't gonna wait. As soon as I get stuff going down, you know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna get it popping in and start throwing stuff down. I'm anxious. Look, we already got a couple of chapters out already. You know what I mean? So I probably won't go with first chapter I read. Yeah, yes. I probably the first chapter right off the bat. I'll probably do it because it's going to be about Jane Westerling. So we're going to find something right off the bat, right off it. You know what I mean? So I'll probably just right off the bat and get it popping, right? We'll get it going just like that.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know what the new, talk is or when Winds of Winter's coming out, but I mean, we've had the same old material to keep swimming around with. Every theory's been put into place. There's no rock left unturned when it comes to Game of Thrones. We need new material.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what a lot of these people are finding out. Before you see a lot of people that were dropping video after video. Some of these YouTubers every day, a new video every day, a new video every day, a new video. Now, you don't see them YouTubers dropping a video every day because they ain't that. It's been exhausted. A lot of it, unless you are really a true book reader and you really are digging for stuff. A lot of the stuff, mainstream stuff, is all exhausted. You know what I mean? Like Mace of Pain, and that brother, he don't come out with a lot of theories here and there, but the ones he do come up with a doozy. Just came out with another theory last night. That's, it's a very plausible theory. It's hard to debate. I'm gonna have to really sit down and see what's good with it.
Yeah, you want to go to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Pooh Bear with Me asks, do you think there is a significance to old three-eyed raven being fire and new one ice? Do you think there is a significance to old three-eyed raven being fire and ice? I guess he's saying. I don't understand that question.
I don't understand it either. Do I think there's significance to the three-eyed raven being fire and ice, both together? So I guess if we look at it as fire and ice, I guess maybe we're looking at it as he's half Targaryen, half North. So he's fire and ice. If you want to look at it that way, then yes, there's a significance to it because we have Jon Snow is the exact same thing. He is also fire and ice. So if you look at it like that, I think so. As I said before, I don't think Bloodraven wants to be there. I think he wants out of that tree. I do believe that he is going to try some type of switching places with Bran to Jon Snow. I think that's how it's going to go down. You may think that, hopping from walk to walk has not been done, but we've seen it happen in the Vlad Sixton's chapter. He himself hopped from a woman and then went right to an animal when he couldn't take over the woman. So I think that's what he wants to do because he doesn't want to lose his powers. That's what they were saying before, that if he just took over somebody, it would just be a boring life because he wouldn't be able to take his walking ability with him. So probably he would want to take over Bran to get out of the tree, and Bran has the strength to take over a human, then use Bran's strength to take over Jon Snow. If he took over Jon Snow, he'd be basically the same person that he is. He'd have the North and the Targaryen blood in him just like that. What do you think, Mo?
Yeah, I think me and you both agreed that we believe the character of Bloodraven is based on Atlas from Greek mythology. That George R. Martin has used a lot of Greek mythology in his works. And, there's a lot of Hamlet in there with Shakespeare, the son killing the father to marry the mother. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. But Bloodraven himself is based on Atlas. In my opinion, he's a man that's had the whole world over his shoulders, and he needs somebody else to take that weight off of him to go do whatever the hell else he wants to do. I'm not too familiar with Greek mythology, but if you want to look at the backstory on Atlas, that's who we believe Bloodraven is based on.
No doubt about it. This exactly what Mo said is the way I feel, and Mo feels that's the way it's going to go down. I would like to say what up to Christina the Sphinx, what up to Monera Geek TV. I'm surprised y'all are awake right now after y'all streaming all that time yesterday. What up to the Lord of the Last Hearth? What up to Arya? What up to T Baby? I do believe I said what up, but I'll say what up to you, girl, because I don't mind saying what up to you as many times as I see your name. So you know what I mean. That's what it is. Mo, what is the next question if you have one there? So
Facepalm Scrub asks, who do you think the hooded man in Winterfell is, and what's the end game for that character?
Don't know if the hooded man in Winterfell's character is as much as people would like it to be. It's hard to really say who this person is because we don't have anything to go on. Zero. I mean, there's really nothing to go on for the hooded. What do we have to go on this? The only thing we know is that he knows Theon. He seems to be familiar with Theon when he was Theon. And that he seems to think that Theon deserves to get what he got. So this is someone from the north who is a Stark supporter or sympathizer. That's basically all you really have to go on. Now, you can call out a billion names. I could say I think it's this person or that person or this person or that person. But in all honesty, there's not enough to go on for me to really give you a solid answer who I think the hooded man is, because there's nothing else that they give you on it.
And the thing is, like, when it comes to the hooded man in Winterfell, I'm a big conspiracy nut when it comes to what's going on in the North, the Grand Northern Conspiracy. This, in my opinion, is one of the most amazing stories that is going to unravel in the next book. You know, everything that's going on with the Grand Northern Conspiracy, I just digested it and swallowed it and ate it right back up. And the big, you know, theories going on out there on Reddit, whatever you want to call that website, is that the one of the major lines that the hooded man in Winterfell says is, "You are a kinslayer, Theon Turncloak." And then Theon proceeds to say, "No, I wasn't. The Stark boys were never blood to me." And the hooded man says something along the lines of, "I know." So he knew what he was saying to Theon. Theon knew that the Stark boys weren't his blood. He's referring to the miller's wife's kids, that he burned the 2 foster orphan boys to disguise that Bran and Rickon had ran away when Theon was the prince in Winterfell and took over the castle. So this man obviously knows a lot about what's going on. In my opinion, I believe he is one of the guards, one of the captain guards of Ned Stark. I forgot what the master of horses was at Winterfell. His name starts with an H. I believe that's him. Or it could be a Glover. It could even be a Glover. It could be the Glover that Robb Stark sent with what's her name, Mage.
Mm-hmm. But basically, as I said, I understand what you're saying. I hear you, and I hear everyone when they say, when we looking at the words, we understand that. We understand that it's someone with the Starks. Now, I'm gonna say it's the stable boy's father, or it's the baker, or the Stark cook, or it was the Stark bootmaker, or the Stark. It could be anyone. There really isn't anything in there that gives it away enough for you to draw a conclusion of definitely who this person is. That's all I'm saying about it. So I can tell you who I think it is, and I can give you a billion names, but I can't give you a reason why I would think it was these persons, other than they knew Theon before all this shit jumped off. You know what I mean? So that's why I can't really give you when I try to give someone asks me like, who is this person? I tell you what it is. That's who I believe it is, and these are the reasons why I can lay it out. I can't lay it out because they didn't really give the guy no description. They don't really give you anything with this dude. But it's a little mystery. You know, people could say it was Melisandre unglamored. I've heard that. You know what I mean? And it could be. I can't tell you that it's not. There's no way. There's nothing I could tell you to make it not be Melisandre unglamored. Nothing I can tell you about that. It could be. It could be anyone. It's too ambiguous, too open up in the air. That one right there. Me personally. You know what I mean? So that's my thing on it. But yeah, y'all got your opinion. Everyone's got their opinion. I just think it could be anybody. It could be Theon talking to himself. It could be anyone. It could be anything.
Yeah, it definitely could be Theon hallucinating in the snow, cold as shit, tripping, you know what I mean? I mean, it's a very weird chapter that, George R. R. Martin throws on us, during when the Boltons are in Winterfell and, everything's going down. Roose Bolton sent for, the Manderleys to come in, and the Manderleys and Freys get at it and get the scrapping inside Winterfell. There's a lot of stuff going down. People are getting killed. So, I mean, this is one of my favorite parts in the book. I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard. That's why we need the Winds of Winter to get some of this stuff done and dusted.
That's why I want the Winds of Winter, because I want this shit figured out. I just want it figured out and done deal. So it won't even be done deal though, Mo. It won't be, because the bottom line is that, the show, whatever, if you want to take some of the show as canon, it showed you clear as day that R plus L equals J. And there are people who would still fight with you and tell you that's not true. So it don't matter if George R. R. Martin tattoos it on his ass, or George R. R. Martin tattoos it on your ass and then signs his name underneath it. Motherfuckers will still try to make up something and say, well, Chardane, there's something about her. There's something going on there. And I'm not saying that there's not, people. I'm just saying that you got to accept things for what they are at some point. You know what I mean? Whether it's good or you like it or you don't. And that's just the way the story is. Some things just got to be accepted. And that's the way it is. But people don't want to accept nothing.
Yeah. You want to go to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Ricky Hunt asks, Euron and Bloodraven, is there a connection?
Yeah. Is there a connection between Euron and the Bloodraven? I mean, when we look at Euron Greyjoy, the number one thing I think that we see from Euron Greyjoy is that he is a believer in the long night. He knows that the long night is coming. He accepts that the long night is coming. He wants the long night to come, and he wants to be king of what is left over in the long night. That is why he has armed himself with Valyrian steel armor. That is why he has done this. Now, we have seen that this man has a glass candle, obviously, because he is able to enter the mind of his brother's dreams. So the fact that he has a glass candle, has entered the mind of someone else's dreams, it is not impossible that the whole reason why he went off to the mission to get this done to begin with was visions that he could have gotten from Bloodraven. There's no doubt that that is possible to have happened, and could have sent him off on that mission to get this Valyrian steel armor, or to track this armor down. He could be a pawn of Bloodraven, if that is what the question is. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible in my eyes that Euron is a pawn of Bloodraven. What say you, Mo?
If you want to go deep into connecting if Bloodraven is the great other or works for the great other, and that Euron believes in the drowned god, and that the drowned god and the great other are the same entity, just used with different names, just like the stallion that mounts the world is the same thing as what's Jon Snow supposed to be again?
The prince that is promised?
The prince that is promised. The stallion that mounts the world, the prince that is promised, that's the same thing.
Yes, so, it is.
So the drowned god that the Greyjoys believe in and the great other are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if that connection is there, Teflon, that's where I believe it goes.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. The stallion that mounts the world, Azor Ahai, the prince that is promised. These are all the same thing to me. Same, just told in by different dialects. Now, different languages. If you're, it's just like, let's just say it's Santa Claus. If you live somewhere and you believe in Santa Claus, he's gonna be your color of the people that believe in him. You know what I mean? He may not have the same name. He may be called, you know, something else in Chinese and something else in English and something else, but the man performs the same exact deeds. Just like Jesus Christ or Horus or what anything that came up at the same thing that all died and got resurrected and everything else, the same story, just different names to fit the times. That's what I believe it is. So the Dothraki worship horses, so it's going to be the stallion who mounts the world. So I think it is the exact same thing, just made for the people in the area so that they can digest it.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah. So that's what our connection is, folks. The next question, actually, Pooh Bear was asking.
Who? Who is this person?
Pooh Bear.
Pooh Bear. All right, Pooh Bear. Yeah.
They were asking, do you think the significance to the old three-eyed raven being fire and Bran being ice? That's what we didn't have in his question before, that Bran is being ice.
I don't know if we can consider him fire. I mean, the three-eyed raven. Like I said, you can give him half and half. Blood Raven is working with the fucking Children of the Forest and the Great Others. They're all down together. It's the same thing. Blood Raven could be considered the Great Other if you want it to be. I think the original Great Other, the true Great Other, is the Stark who became the Night's King. I think that is who it really is. Blood Raven could be playing a role right now. These people, you think that this Blood Raven is a good guy. You think that he is that he's here for the realm. He is not. He is evil. He is bad. In fact, I see Monaro Geek debate Lady D in this a little bit ago, and I do believe that she defeated Lady D quite easily. And I just don't think that it's a hard argument for Lady D to win with all of the proof that how bad Blood Raven is. So it's just, I just don't know how anyone could think that Blood Raven is a good guy or he's here for the realm. It's impossible to think that.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at Blood Raven's backstory, he was hand to the king. He used his voodoo magic, witchcrafting, to kill his stepbrother, you know, or whatever, and stop the rebellions, you know, of you know the what's their names again?
Say it again.
The rebellion. What were their names again? The other family, the other
Blackfire. The Blackfire.
Yeah, he stopped their rebellion. Sorry, guys. You know what I mean? I've forgotten some names after a while. But, yeah, so it is what it is. Let's move to the next question. T-Baby asks, who was more in love with Rhaegar, Connington or Lyanna?
I'm going to tell you, it's probably Connington. I think John Connington. I'm going to think him. I think he was probably more in love with Rhaegar than them because the man never married and never got with anyone ever again.
Yeah, I mean, Connington did love Rhaegar so much that he was fooled into believing that some dude was Rhaegar's son, and he risked his life, got himself some grayscale because he loved the man so much that he didn't even know that this boy, he's getting conned into believing that this boy is really Rhaegar's son. I mean, that is blind love. That is the definition of blind love. We all believe it's a fake Aegon. It's Fagon. So imagine how much love you have to believe in that story.
No doubt. Now, look, Mo, I seen the movie Brokeback Mountain because I watch all movies. I watch any movie. I'm not... Nothing, you know, so hey, you watch a Brokeback. I watch it because I could watch all movies because I am secure in my sexuality. So I could watch anything. Two things about that movie I'll say that relates to this part right here. Number one thing I would say is that when that one dude does die in it, you see the other guy in the same way as an old man, just smelling this dude's jacket, smelling his clothes, missing this cat, in love with this dude for the rest of his life, dead. You know what I mean? That's the way he is. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of the same situation. If that guy in that movie, someone brought a son and said, hey, this is this dude's son and he's getting bothered, no doubt that guy would raise that son. You know, no doubt that Heath Ledger's character would raise Jake Gyllenhaal's character in that movie easily. It's the same exact situation there with Rhaegar. But I don't know. The whole thing is a question I'm gonna ask you. This is right here. Let me ask you this, Mo. This is something that no one ever talks about. Do you think that Jon Snow got it on with Rhaegar? You think that it ever happened? I mean, is he just holding a torch for something that never happened, or did Rhaegar give him a whiff that something could happen? Now we see the Martells, you know, they get down, they're very open and everything else, and they do whatever they want. You think Rhaegar was on that type of shit too?
Say the question again. I missed the first part.
Do you think that Rhaegar and Jon Snow ever hooked up a little bit? Do you think that he gave Jon Snow reason to think that they could be together to make him stay in love with him like this? Or is this just a faraway affection? Because it seems to be very, very personal for it to be something that never happened. You know what I'm saying? Or for something that never got there. Did he give the man a whiff to think like, hey, maybe, you know, we see the Martells and how Oberyn gets down. It could be the same situation going on here.
I mean, it's definitely possible, you know, from all accounts, Rhaegar's a good-looking man. And, you know, you never know. He might have caressed his cheek one time. He might have fondled his hair. Who knows? But it is a possibility. You know, Rhaegar, you know, it is what it is. I mean, Rhaegar is a guy that made grown men, you know, follow him onto the Trident. You know, this is love. When you have unconditional love, you'll have men die for you, you know. And of all accounts, even when, you know, Robert slayed Rhaegar on the Trident, you know, guys like Sir Barristan and Selmy, you know, were going to die to the death, you know, until they got, you know, whatever it's called when you cross over to the other side at the end of a war. So, I mean, it's possible, man. I mean, Rhaegar, you know, it is what it is.
No, I mean, it could be. Who knows? You know what I mean? It could have went that way. Rhaegar seems like, from what I've read, it seems like the type of guy that maybe, you know, like Oberyn. Like he take whatever he want, whenever he want, from whoever he want. You know what I mean? Could be that type of dude there. You know what I mean? He does play a harp, though. You know what I'm saying?
He is a hipster. He's a hipster of Westeros.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you never know. You know, he made this be that open type of guy like that for back in the day.
Yeah, let's get to the next question. What do you think Stannis' this is from Jay Measy. Shout out to Jay Measy. What do you think Stannis' next move will be after he wins the Battle of Ice? I think he will win this battle. What do you think unfolds next if he does win?
All right, let me answer that real quick. LaDonna Louise is in the chat. What up, LaDonna? She said something. She said that she believes that the love that happened between Jon Snow and Rhaegar could be parallel for the love that Brienne showed for Renly. And we know nothing ever went on there. You know, that's quite possible. It could be. It just seems a little bit more intense for the fact that Brienne learned to love again very quick. You know what I'm saying? She may have loved Renly, but she's on Jaime Lannister's ass. You know what I'm saying? So she ain't. This man ain't fucked nobody. You know what I mean? He cut I can't be with him. I ain't being with nobody. Period. Mm-hmm. You know, at least Brienne moved on. She was like, Renly, I'm right. Hey, Jaime, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? And that's it. So that would be the difference that I would draw there. If it was any difference between it, I would put it right there. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it could be a situation that maybe fucking, you know, maybe he got a whiff of it. Maybe he got a whiff of that Targaryen tail, Jon Snow, and that's why he on acting like that. You know, so it could be. Sam says Tony, Jon Snow, and Jorah are the same Targ friend zone for life. It's quite possible it could be like that with them, you know what I mean? But it just seems that this guy's, when you are thinking about someone and you call him my prince, you call him my prince, there's something going on here. You know what I mean? There's something else going on. That just ain't regular affection, man. You know what I mean? That ain't just regular love for you have for your homies. There's something else going on there.
Yeah. Did you get the question, the Stannis question? What do you believe will happen after the Battle of Ice with Stannis? What's his moves gonna be?
In the books, I think that Stannis will defeat them in the Battle of Ice. I think that after that, it either goes one or two ways. I think that either Theon knows some secret entrance. If he survives this battle, he helps Stannis get into Winterfell. Stannis retakes Winterfell that way. Or, which is more likely to me, I think that Stannis's men will take the Frey and Manderly, will take the Frey's armor, put his men in the armor. I think they will take Stannis's sword, and they will hold up Stannis's sword, because we know it's glowing like Thundar Barbarian sword, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be glowing. They're going to hold that back up, and they're going to march back there like victorious with the sword in the air. They're all going to believe them. And then once they open the gates, they reveal who they are and slaughter everybody in Winterfell. I think that's how it immediately goes down right after the Battle of Ice. What say you, Mo?
It's obvious he's gonna win in the Battle of Ice in the books. The D&D completely ripped out the guts of that story and made Stannis lose because they can't have any elder fatherly figure warriors on the show anymore to supersede Jon Snow's strength. Jon Snow has to be the main protagonist on the show, so they wiped out the Blackfish, they wiped out Stannis, they wiped out every protagonist, older warrior figure in the show to put more shine on Joe, which I disagree with. And you will see that Davos will be next. Davos will not be in the last season of Game of Thrones. They will also get rid of him. So that every decision Jon Snow makes, it shows that it was Jon's decision and not anybody else helping him. They don't want any fatherly figures around Jon. But back to Stannis. He's going to win the Battle of Ice. He's going to consolidate all the forces. He's probably going to wrap up, all the northern lords' armies, consolidate those. He's going to banish the Boltons. They're going to be destroyed distinct like the Rains of Castamere. And the wildlings, may take some castles over, just like in my opinion, it's going to happen on the show. And, yeah, Stannis is going to do his thing. He's going to keep marching, man.
No doubt about it. Stannis is the menace. I seen someone in the chat tried to say, fuck Stannis. You can say it all you want. You can hate the man all you want. This is the whole crazy thing to me. I don't think people really get, you know what I mean? If you like Game of Thrones, the book series, how can't you like Stannis Baratheon? Everything that happens with Stannis is what this whole fucking book series is about. In fact, every aspect of this book series we see through Stannis. We get the magic through Stannis. We get dragon talk through Stannis. We get the dreams through Stannis. We get the backstabbing plots through Stannis. We get the war battle scenes through Stannis. You get everything through Stannis, but yet y'all don't want to like him. That's fine. You don't have to like him. It's okay. It is what it is. But Stannis is the true king, despite what Maester Payne says, though he puts up a good argument. We will go through Maester Payne's theory video, and we will reply to that shortly, folks, without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Next question is... Elevated Mind asks, when do you think Bran will warg into the dragon, and which one? We haven't talked about dragons yet, so let's do a little dragon love.
No doubt about it. Well, let's go through it like this. What is Bran's real role in this thing? Now, we got Jon Snow as the warrior, right? We have him in that position. We know Bran ain't... I don't think Bran's going to be on the battlefield. He's not going to be like little lady Mormont out there. He ain't going to be like that. I can't see him in that position, especially in the books at all. So what could be Bran's, what is he going to do to affect this battle? We know he has to do something to affect that battle. What is he going to do to affect this battle? What do you think there?
Well, in the show... basically, Bran is going to be helped to get to either, Is it going to be King's Landing? Is it going to be the South? Wherever the major battle takes place against the Night's King, that's where Bran will be wheeled to. And will Dany's dragons make it there? I don't know. I actually believe there could be an ice dragon in the north. It'll be the 4th dragon used in the series. Teflon's talked about this a lot. I haven't done a video on this, but I will talk on the subject sooner rather than later. In my opinion, Dany's dragons don't make it to that area of Westeros. So how will Bran use a dragon? Well, there's going to be a dragon that's going to be used in the north. However way it happens, I don't know. Is there one, inside, Castle Black underneath it? Is there one underneath the Winterfell? I don't know. But I know that Dany's dragons ain't making it all the way to Westeros. And the only logical thing is another beast gets used over there that Bran wargs into.
No doubt. So what we've seen from Bran so far that he has been able to do is warg. That is his ability. That is what he has been shown to do consistently from the books. He had to learn how to warg into this person, how to control this and warg. So I would have to think that his last endgame has to be some form of warging technique that he's going to have to do. Now, maybe somehow that Bran Stark can over-warg the Night King and take control of the undead army. Maybe that is what Brandon Stark is going to do. And while he is able to take control of the undead army and distract the Night King from that, Jon Snow will be able to go and fight the Night King one-on-one, a head-up with the sword he has at the time, and then fight the Night King. Maybe that is a situation that he's going to be able to do. Maybe he will be able to pull that off. Maybe Bran will be able to warg his own undead army of the people of the good side that die and bring those people back to life to fight against those whites. Maybe he will be that strong. It's either that or Bran somehow has to warg one of these dragons to distract the dragon long enough so the dragon can be killed. Now, as for the ice dragon, yes, there is no doubt we are seeing ice dragons, people. I've told you this before. There's a couple of different ways it goes down. There's definitely dragon eggs in the crypts of Winterfell. Not just 1 or 2, but a clutch of dragon eggs down there. Somewhere we know that. We know that Blood Raven himself has a dragon egg that he's probably hidden in Deep Lake at this particular time. It's probably over there. So between those dragon eggs right there, I believe that ice dragon will be born. And as I said, and it says in the books, that it doesn't matter if it's just born. It's not going to take forever to grow like Dany's dragon, because the ice dragons grow as much colder it gets, the bigger it gets. Therefore, winter already be here, the dragon will grow very fast. So I do think it will go down like that. That is my thing of Bran, how I think it's going to go down with Bran. He's either got to warg the whites and take control of them, or maybe make his own white army or do something to level the playing field so Jon Snow could fight the Night's King one-on-one.
Yeah, the Crypts of Winterfell, biggest mystery in the books. What's down there? Is it the harp? Is it a clutch of dragon eggs? Is it a sword? Is it Dawn, Star of the Morning down there?
I think it's so now. So it's 2 different situations. I think that people get confused. It's the way I'm saying. When I say the Crypts of Winterfell, the Crypts is a big ass place, right? There's the Crypts of Winterfell, and then there's Lyanna Stark's tomb in the Crypts of Winterfell, right? So when I say that the dragon's eggs are in the Crypts of Winterfell, I don't think there's going to be a dragon egg inside Lyanna Stark's tomb. That'd be tremendous if it is, but I don't know if there's going to be an egg there. I think there's an egg somewhere down there in the Crypts of Winterfell, without a doubt, a bunch of them, but I don't know if it's going to be there. What I do believe will be inside of her tomb itself will be the harp, and I do believe that it will be the sword. Dawn will be in there too.
Most definitely. I've always believed that Dawn is down in the Crypts of Winterfell, saved for Jon Snow, brought back from the Tower of Joy by Ned Stark. In the show, they've just shown that Ned's taken the sword, because they probably assumed that Ned did take the sword and didn't drop it off in Starfall for the Dane. So, it is what it is. Something mysterious is down there. We all know.
Let's spit into that real quick. Since we brought that up, we're going to go right into that. Now, We know that Ned Stark supposedly dropped off this sword after killing Arthur Dayne at Starfall. That's the story. Further than the Tower of Joy, the opposite direction of where he had to go to get back where he was going, right? Mm-hmm. He drops off this sword, and this lady supposedly just jumps out of the window and kills herself. Yet there is a child that is named Ned that is the Lord of Starfall, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Why would you name your child after the person who killed the most respected person, member of your family, your brother that you supposedly killed yourself over? It makes no sense. There has to be something going on there. Mo, what do you think about it?
Yep. The thing is, right, you know, we've always been, you know, alluding to what's down there and what's happening. What was the last bit you just stated, Teflon?
I'm saying that why would Eddard Storm be nicknamed Ned if Ned Stark actually killed Arthur Dayne and brought the sword back there?
Exactly. You got to use your mind, folks. Why would a family name their child, you know, who are supposedly the heir to Starfall, after a man that there's not too many Eddards in the realm, I believe. I don't think there's too many men named Eddard or Ned. So, you know, there can't be a coinky dink. It can't be a coincidence, you know. So why would they? And, you know, and the only reason I believe is because he's well revered by the Danes for whatever he has done. You know, he has done something to get the respect of them to name their son Eddard, you know. And maybe they were so gifted at what he did for them that they blessed him with the sword because they believed he could do better with it than they could. They don't have any other male lines, you know, and maybe they didn't want the young Eddard to use it for some reason. Who knows? Unless
the whole prophecy of the prince that was promised is something that was known to Sir Arthur Dayne. Unless he knew this and he truly believed that the son of Rhaegar and Lyanna was the prince that was promised, and that he is just holding this sword for Azor Ahai. And if he believed that truly, and that's why he was willing to stay back and give his life to save this prince that is promised, Azor Ahai, then the whole Dane family would have to know this fact. They would have to know that story. Therefore, if it was explained, this is what happened, and I have this baby, then it would be Ashura Dane herself will say, if that baby is Azor Ahai, then Azor Ahai needs this sword. Take the sword with you. And that would explain why it would still go down like that. There's no way possible that Ned Stark dropped the sword off there, people. Impossible. It's not there. He didn't do that. Not gonna have the most epic sword in the Song of Ice and Fire thrown away in the river like Excalibur. There's gonna be no lady in the lake handing this sword to Jon Snow. If there is, then I'll shut the book. I will shut the book.
It's the sword, it's the sword and the stone. The stone is what's made of the sword. It's the sword and the stone. It's Excalibur. It's King Arthur.
All into one, right?
All into one.
You see that? So there you go, right there with Mo Genie giving it to you real. Excalibur, the sword in the stone. Dawn, the sword made of stone, is the same situation. I agree with you 100%.
And you know, people gotta remove the veil of conspiracy out the way and just look at what's in front of you. 2 + 2 = 4. It doesn't equal 5.
It depends, I guess, who you're asking that question, because I'm sure someone will tell you that it does. I'm sure that it possibly could be brought up like that. Someone can convince you that it does somehow. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. Excuse me, what happened here? LaDonna said that? Wait a second. What did she say? What did LaDonna just said that? I'm not looking in the chat. She said the sword and the stone thing? Did LaDonna say that?
I believe. Let me look up. She may have.
She may have. If LaDonna Louise did say that, then definitely all props go to LaDonna Louise. LaDonna, Tony, Teflon does not take props from anyone. My props get taken from me.
There's more than enough props to go around. I mean, I've always looked at that sword as Excalibur. I mean, the sword, I was a big fan of Robin Hood, steal from the rich, give to the poor, the old King Arthur and Merlin stories, the wizard and the pauper, all that. And you know George R. R. Martin uses these things. If you're going to use swords in your story, what are the most fabled swords in history? It's Excalibur.
I never thought of the whole sword and the sword, the sword made out of stone, the sword and the sword. Perfect. So LaDonna Louise, that is a great theory. LaDonna has come up with great theories. I think that one is going to stick. I still like her other theory that she came up with too, the death of Ramsay. I think we did see a part of it last season, but I do think that it's quite possible that in the books it will go down exactly how she did predict. And if you don't know how she predicted it, she predicted that it would be Arya warged into Nymeria's super PAC that will hunt down Ramsay Snow and kill him in the end. That's how Ramsay will die. I always like that. I think we got a little bit of that already in the show without the warging, because Arya doesn't warg. So I do believe that is definitely good, that it could definitely happen in the books right there.
For sure. We got a couple more questions I didn't write up that are still in the chat. Garrett Baratheon writes, would Stannis go to try and contest young Griff, or would he focus on the wall now?
He's not focusing on the wall anymore. The wall is over for Stannis. Once he takes Winterfell, he's going right to Mandalese, and he's heading right down to King's Landing. He's got to, as much as I hate to say it, you know what I mean? He's got to fall before it's all said and done. If he's not going to sit the Iron Throne, he's got to fall. Griff is going to have to get a big victory somehow through there. That could possibly, well, I think that Stannis falls to Euron and Cersei trying to take Casterly Rock. I think when he goes to the Mandalese, from there he tries to take Casterly Rock, and Cersei's down with Euron at that time. Euron does get the dragon, burns Stannis in the field of fire. I think that's how Stannis goes out, like that. So as for the Griff situation, I think that Griff has to get taken down by Daenerys. I think that's how that will happen. It goes down. She will go, when she comes to King's Landing, she's going to be the one to take out Aegon and take out the Blackfire. Stannis will get taken out by Euron and Cersei trying to take Casterly Rock. That's why I look. What do you think?
Say that question again, Teflon.
No, I'm just talking about how, what do you think is going to happen with Stannis, is how Stannis will fall.
I believe Stannis' downfall eventually may come down to him and Jon Snow. It just seems that Jon Snow, you know, he took his, in the books, he took his advice of he was going to get betrayed by one of the northern families or whoever it was, right before he got to the light tower. And I just don't see Stannis going deep into King's Landing or whatever and fighting the Lannisters again. I don't see it going that route for him. I don't see him running into Dany either. We haven't gotten any inclinations of this. It just seems that after he wins the Battle of Ice and he's going to sacrifice, you know, his daughter in that situation at some point. D&D wouldn't have done that on the show if it wasn't gotten a green light from George. So I think something along those lines would be his downfall.
Yeah, I just think
his daughter.
Yeah, I just that I don't even know how that even plays into it. The whole sacrifice of Shireen. Obviously, it's got to happen. I don't know how that's going to play in it with him. I really don't know how they're going to pull that off in the situation that they're in. But somehow, I guess the guys that go down. Seems like the chat just wants to talk about Euron.
Yeah, we got some heavy Euron stuff right now. We're about an hour in.
No doubt about it. It seems like people just want to talk about I guess because the Forsaken chapter is the most exciting chapter that was released. I'm gonna ask you, out of all the chapters that he released for Winds of Winter, what is your favorite chapter?
Easily the Theon chapters. Easily.
I'm with you 100%. The Theon chapter is the best chapter. I know everyone likes the Euron chapter, but the release Theon chapter to me outclasses all the chapters that he has released without a doubt. That to me is the best chapter of them all.
The with Theon being tied up and he's a prisoner, and Stannis giving him some banter, calling him the Kinslayer Turncloak, and then you got Bran and Bloodraven as the birds listening in on their conversation. They could be anywhere in the world, but they there with Stannis listening in because they know that that's a major maneuver, And so many great things are going on in that room. That's a class of its own. I like that word you use. That is a higher class of writing, is what George R. He's putting so many, disguises with his literature that you got to break and weave through all of that to find out what the hell he's talking about. And there's been so many videos on this topic. You've done some. It's just that Theon chapter is in a class of its own. I'm sorry, folks, but I'm a Grand Northern conspiracy nut, and anything that's going on in the North, I love it. That Theon chapter is the bomb.
No doubt about it. What up to Queen Strader? Cheryl's in the building. What up to you, girl? Thank you for joining us up there. Appreciate you stopping by all the time and seeing you. So yeah, I think everything, as I said before, man, everything that this book is about, you get through Stannis. So I don't know how people hate the Stannis. You get everything in there. You got the lead up to the battle. You got the ravens barking, like Mo said. You got Stannis uncovering the Karstark treachery. You got military battle planning going on there. You have everything there. That is why Stannis is just the best part of the whole book series is Stannis Baratheon and everything that goes around with him, without a doubt. So I think that the Theon chapter is good. I also would give the Mercy chapter a higher rating than the Forsaken chapter if I had to go through it. I think the Mercy chapter was excellent.
For sure. And most chapters in the book, George R. R. Martin will throw you a Scooby snack of hidden stuff. But that Theon 1 chapter, that is just him giving you boom, boom, ping, 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 ping. He's just throwing the details right at you. Like, here you go, take this, take that. You do what you want with it. That's why it's an amazing chapter.
No doubt about it. We're gonna go to the chat here. We got more questions in the chat.
Ricky Hunt asks, how come Quaithe never warns Dany of Euron when listing all her things for her to fear?
Well, does she not? What did she say there? Does she not? She says the Kraken, right?
She definitely said the Kraken.
So it could be Euron. It doesn't have to be Victorian. It could just says the Kraken, Dark Flame, So I guess people put it together because they're together at the same time. So they say it could be him, but it may not be him. It may be Euron that's there.
Could be Theon. Who knows? It could be
But the bottom line is that she does warn her about Tyrion specifically. She said he's there in that warning too, not to trust Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah.
So do you think that Tyrion will be the betrayal of Dany?
If it comes down to his head or Dany's head, and something happens where they get captured or something, then yeah, sure, I could see Tyrion betraying her if he keeps his head on his shoulders. But I don't think he will outright, blatantly, turn on her. I don't see that in Tyrion's character.
Yeah, we're going to wait. I guess T-Baby asked a question. I did not see it. She's saying we ain't letting her live. We gonna let her put this back up there real quick.
I just answered, like we did like 2 of T Baby's questions, didn't we?
She's saying we ain't letting her live.
All
So
right.
where's this question, T Baby? Put that up there. We waiting on your question. Goon 143 asks, in the meantime, is Craster a bastard Targ? I got a whole video that I said about that. That I told you that he was a bastard Targaryen. So you should check out that video if you haven't already. It's called The White Walker's Monster. Let's see. What if Dany goes mad? Tyrion betrays her then. I think that's a good chance that she could not go mad, but just be a little bit more aggressive than Tyrion would like.
Yeah. Let me try to find T Baby's question.
Is Stannis cursed? Will Euron get the crown? That's it right there? Is Stannis cursed?
Well, I mean, of course he's cursed. He's a kinslayer. You know, front and center. He's one of the few kinslayers. He killed Renly. He's gonna kill Shireen. So yeah, I mean, the gods don't forget. I mean, you know, that's why some people think that he won't win the Battle of Ice. Even with all the tactical shit he's got, he might still get betrayed, you know?
Yeah, is he cursed? I don't know. I mean, did Robert curse his bed and fuck up him from ever being able to have a child because Robert slept in his name bed? You know, that's more superstition to me. I don't think that it's because Robert had sex in the bed, now all of a sudden he can't have a kid. I don't think that had anything. I just think that's all superstition. So as for him being cursed, I don't know if the man is cursed. I just think he just keeps getting the short end of the stick, and he just keeps trying to do the best he can with the hand that he's dealt. That's the way I look at it. And then I am a Stannis Baratheon fan, so you can take that for what it is.
You know, we don't ever forget about that peach. You know, that peach is it.
There's no doubt. I mean, if you want to call Stannis a kinslayer, you have every right to say that. Call him a kinslayer. There's no doubt. You could say it, but there's arguments against it. Is he a kinslayer? Yes. Did he directly kill Renly? Yes. I guess you have to say it for the fact that somehow he was inside that shadow, even though he doesn't remember it. He does remember it a little bit, but somehow he was inside that shadow. Some form, his spirit was trapped into the shadow that did it. So, and you'd see the guilt that he has for doing it. Obviously, the peaches we know. So, I guess you would have to say that he did kill his brother, but I just think that Renly would have killed him. So I just think that when his back was against the wall at that particular time, and Renly told him he's going to kill him in the morning, he has 3 times the army that he has. What is he to do? Just accept defeat and die? And just
push came to shove, we know that Renly's army would have defeated Stannis.
Not because of tactics, just from sheer numbers.
Sheer numbers. In the Stormlands, Stannis would have lost if he didn't do what he did. He believed that he's the prince that is promised. You know, you got Melisandre gassing him up. She putting all that gas in his head. She was putting double diesel unleaded gas up in Stannis' ass. You know, telling him he was prince that is promised and all that. And he did what he did, you know, and you know, that peach will forever haunt Stannis. And it's a fact. He is a kinslayer. It is what it is. Will it come back and bite him? I don't think the Renly death will come back and bite him. I think the Shireen one will come back and bite him, if you really want my answer.
Yeah, I guess obviously when if he kills his daughter and burns his daughter, then you done sunk to a low that there's no coming back from. You deserve to get whatever happens to you after that. I still don't think it's possible for him to do it. I don't think he'll ever see Shireen again in the books alive at any particular time. Yeah. The only way is when he takes Winterfell, he sends for them and they come there. That's the only way it could happen, but I can't see them going through that plot line of having them come all the way down to Winterfell. I just don't see it. going down like that.
Yeah. You want me to go to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Somebody asked, how long will Sam be at Old Town when is Euron coming there?
I mean, that brings into the whole Kraken horn situation. Do you believe that there will be a Kraken to rise from the waters and start killing shit?
I think it's, it's not figuratively. I think it's symbolic, that just means Euron's coming, because like a real Kraken, I mean, it is possible. I mean, there are dragons, but maybe there's going to be a sea dragon, but a real Kraken, I don't know. It might just be a figure of speech. It might be figuratively.
Yeah, you get some type of Loch Ness monster type situation. I think maybe it's possible for that, but I don't know if we're going to see a giant squid come up out the water. I just think that that's too much fantasy. I don't know if we're going to see that much. I mean, we've seen a lot already, but I just don't know if he's really going to go that far and have a Kraken come out of the water and start grabbing shit up. It would be nice to see. I don't think we're going to see it. As for will Sam be at Old Town when Euron attacks, I think he'll escape it when it goes down. I mean, look, from what we're seeing here, from whatever this plot leak or whatever is saying that Mo doesn't keep a track of, so we're not really going to go into it too much. But whatever this weapon is, if there's a weapon being created there or something like that, if it goes down, I think Sam would find out about it from there. It's quite possible that the book, The Death of Dragons, that Jack and Rhaegar are searching for, has the recipe to make this weapon. And that is why he's searching for it. We don't know, but we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, and I forgot my train of thought. Oh yeah, Sam. Yeah, I've done a video on what I believe will happen with Sam in Old Town. I think he's gonna be, scooped up by Euron when he attacks. I do believe Sam will be at Old Town when Euron attacks, and Euron will scoop him up and take him with Heartsbane, and that's how Euron will have his Valyrian steel weapon. I do believe that Euron will be one of the few people that has Valyrian steel in his grasp, but he won't hold on to it. Jon will get that back.
No doubt about it. No doubt. So would you think that Jon is going to maintain Longclaw for the whole show, or you think he's going to get another sword?
No, he's getting another sword. He's going to give Longclaw to Tormund. I've stated this in some of my videos. He will give it to Tormund. Tormund will have the bears. He'll put the bear's head pummel back on the Longclaw and use it like a Mormont. And Jon will get Heartsbane. Jon will get Heartsbane. That's why I was leading to, Sam losing Heartsbane to Euron, and then Jon and Euron have a battle, and that's what'll be the sword he uses to become, the big man, the prince that is promised. He's not. Longclaw is not his final weapon. Not happening. He's gonna pass that on to Tormund.
Yeah, he's definitely got to pass it on. He's got to have Dawn at one point. Don't know if he'll keep it for his personal sword after the battle with the Night's King. I think he battles the Night. And Dawn's a big fucking sword.
Mm-hmm.
Big ass sword. I mean, the show they don't have it as big as that, but it's a big ass sword to be fighting two-handed with Night's King with, But that would be the sword for that happens. But I do believe we have to see Dark Sister. I do believe we need to see the Targaryen swords again, Blackfire. These swords must come back. We know that Aegon has Blackfire. At least I believe he has Blackfire in his clutches. We know that Dark Sister was last seen with Bloodraven. So that should be up there. So those are the two swords. Who do you think will get those swords, if anyone?
If they show us Dark Sister, it's a possibility that Mira may be the one that gets it if she survives. I know you think that Mira's going to die.
Yeah.
If Mira sticks around and stays around, I think she might be the one to rock it. I just don't see Arya, being far enough to get that weapon. I mean, I just don't know how she would come into the hands of that. But I do see Mira because she's in the vicinity of where Dark Sister should be, which is with Bloodraven in the cave.
Yeah, I just think it's if Bran gets his hands on that sword somehow, it could pass to Arya. If anyone's the Dark Sister, we have to say it's Arya Stark. I mean, it fits her. And the fact that it's a Bravosi style blade and she's been trained in water dancing, I think it 100% fits the build that she has to get that sword when it's all said and done. She has to. That has to be it. Whatever happens to Needle, I don't know, but she has to have that sword. And if she has that sword, that means that Arya Stark could be in the Battle of the Long Night. Because I think anyone with a Valyrian steel sword by the end of the show will probably be in the Battle of the Long Night. So Arya herself might be in it, especially in the show. And in the book, she's so much younger. So, it's so hard to tell in the books when you look at the age for everything else. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. But, it's just in the show, it could definitely go down that she could be fighting versus these White Walkers too with Jon Snow. She could be on the battlefield.
Yeah, for sure. You never know how it'll happen. And, she may stumble upon it. I've always maintained, that Arya will be the new Ghost of High Hearth in the Riverlands. She'll just be an assassin more than a fortune teller that the original Ghost of High Heart was. So, it is possible that the sword ends up in her hands.
No doubt. What up? What up to the ladies' man, Sir L.T. Giles, who just stepped into the building? And what up to my man Joe Swag, who just came up in this piece too?
Yeah, we got a full house tonight, folks. Y'all here to see Mo Genie and Teflon doing our thing.
Hey, I was thinking, wow, you know what I mean? So people had to show up. I think we hit over 100 watches at one point. I think we were up to 107 at one point here and there. So, good looks for y'all coming out here, you know what I mean, and checking us out, especially ladies who were on the chat last night for 8 hours straight. Thanks for y'all joining us. I really do appreciate it, and that y'all even able to wake up this morning is amazing. You know what I mean? But I really do and appreciate that. You know what I mean? No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
And Monero Geek is over here running the mouth about. I seen that comment you made about Stannis. Don't think I didn't see it. I've been seeing this stuff, girl. Don't think they go fast, but they don't go that fast. You got to. I'm not Lady D. You debate me. It'd be a different situation. You know how it is, bro. You know what it be, man.
Hearing things.
Let me put this out there real quick because T Baby has started these debates on her channel. So please go check out T Baby's debates on her channel. But I've done told heads before, man. Mo, I done told people before, man. I done issued challenges to people for years. Ain't no one taking that. Ain't no one seeing me, man. Ain't no one want to see it. Nobody want it with the Don. Nobody want it with Mo Genie. Anyone want it with the Don and Mo Genie? Bring that ass. Bring that ass. Bring that knowledge, and we shall see what happens in the end. And I say this live on my channel so everyone knows. I go for everybody. Everybody. Anyone can get it. Period.
We don't care if you got 1 million followers. We don't care if you got 2. If you got something to say, we here.
Females can get it too. I don't give a fuck, boo. That's how we do. Anyone can get got. You come here, we with you, man. Bring that ass. Bring that ass. We waiting for you. Hit me in the comment section, whoever you want it. I'll put you any topic you want. I can defend anybody or anything. I'm the Johnny Cochran of this motherfucker. I'm the Stephen A. Smith of this shit right here. You know what I mean? It ain't happening. Me and Mo Genie ain't getting taken down. Period.
No, if you got something to say, put it in the comment section. Hit us with a DM if you want to debate or if you want a friendly conversation. If anything to do with thoughts, if you think you got it better than us, bring it.
Wait, someone said something about Charlie Westeros don't want it with me. He don't want it with me. You know what he already got in a small council. I was being nice to that young kid. You know what I mean? He don't want it. He don't want it. They don't want it, man. Bring Charlie. That's my boy. He could bring him. He can take it. He can get it. What?
Charlie's peoples. Charlie's people.
Of course, everyone. People, it's all fun and games. You know what I mean? So everyone peoples, and it's all for fun and everything else. But I'm a battle rapper from back in the day, baby. This is what we do. This is what I've always done. I love the battle. I've gone through Brooklyn niggas. I've gone through Bronx. I've gone through anyone, Manhattan, Uptown, whatever. I battled them all. We made them all fall. You know what I mean? Anywhere. I don't care. So if dudes want to battle, that's what's up. We can get this thing popping anytime.
Yep. So we got a couple more questions. People hit us off with a couple new people. A lot of new people in the chat. I haven't recognized their names. We got a guy, Jonathan Keeney, asked, do you guys think Night's King's Bride will surface in the wars to come?
Say that again. You broke up for a second.
Do you think that the Night's King's Bride will surface in the wars to come?
Yeah, no doubt. Night's King's Bride is Melisandre. That is my play. That's what I say. That's what all day. Melisandre is the Night's Queen. What say you, Mo? I mean, you must support.
Yeah. You know, Melisandre, all signs lead to her. I just don't see it. But I don't see anybody else. But if there is a possibility of anybody else, if you think Mira's gonna die, well, maybe her corpse becomes the bride. You feel me?
I hear you. I hear you. It could happen that way. It could all happen that way. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about it. It could definitely go down. I truly believe that Melisandre has to be a Night's Queen. I know that people have said that from the Euron vision that they think that cuts from that Cersei somehow is in there. That's showing Euron what he's going to do. Cersei's going to be with him. That's what that vision shows. That's what that's going to be. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and for real, I mean, you know, there's not too many females up north that could be used. You know, Melisandre, all signs lead to her. Lady LaDonna in the chat, I see, she believes that it's Dany. And yeah, sure. You know, if Dany makes it up north or they battle the Night's King, you know, at King's Landing or wherever they fight this man, maybe, you know, it could be Dany. You know, this is something that, you know, maybe it was just a myth. Maybe it was just a fairy tale and that woman's not alive anymore. You know, who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Someone for the Night's Queen situation, the way I see it is that it's got to be the opposite situation. I think someone's going to willingly have to give themselves to the Night's King, and I think that is exactly what's going to happen with Melisandre. I think that she's going to be down to do it. And I think that's the bottom line. I think that's why it's going to be her. It just has to be her. You know what I mean? People ask me what Nicolino is at today. I have not. Nicolina had grown her hair, and I didn't even know it was her when I seen the picture.
Yeah, Nicolina got her hair long again, and I like it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I didn't even see it with the line. She showing the picture. I was like, "Who is this?" I had no idea. You know what I mean. But I will say this again. I think that people have seen my video, and you may have known this fact, but it's pretty obvious when you see that George R. R. Martin has commissioned a statue from I forgot Dark Horse figurines of Melisandre in a blue form of Melisandre. This is not just a blue form of Melisandre. If you look at it, you can see from the beginning of the first Melisandre doll that the ground that she's on is alive. It's got grass coming up and all this. And the blue one, you can see it's all dead. The ground is dead. The grass is dead. It's all iced over. You can see her face looks a little deadish, and she is definitely holding blue flames in her, and she's completely blue. There's no reason for him to commission that if there wasn't something else going to go down like that. He didn't commission Melisandre in the 500-year-old form. He didn't ask for that with the Mae Young breast. He didn't do that, right? No. he commissioned her in this form, and then it got leaked out that he did it, and now he tried to cover it up and said, "Oh, I just did it for just to do it." No, he did it because this is the way it's going to go down with Melisandre in the end. That's no doubt.
I didn't even know that Dark Horse got commissioned to do that, toy, that action figure. I gotta check that out because there's no other reason they would do something like that unless George R. R. Martin gave the A-OK.
Know that. Check out my video. Melisandre, the Nice Queen. I got a picture of it right up in there. Put it right up in there. You can see it. No doubt about it. It's easy up there. I know we see a bunch of there's someone up there in Tuki Mello and Daddy TV asks, do you guys think the Night's King is taking orders from someone like Darth Vader? I've answered this question myself before. I'll answer it again. I'm telling you, Blood Raven is down with the Night's King. They're all working together. That's what I say. What say you, Mo?
Who's working together?
Is the Night King taking orders from someone? Hence, like, is he Darth Vader? Is there Emperor behind him?
Oh, I mean, all signs lead to that being Blood Raven being the one giving him the commands. I mean, this whole, the great other scheme, Blood Raven sees Melisandre when Melisandre looks into the flames. For a person that has this much power, if you don't think he's got Jedi mind tricks, if he's got mind control over people, you're tripping. This is what Blood Raven does. And it all makes sense.
That's all he does. That's all he's there for, people. That's it. That's what he's there for. Disgusting. Blood Raven and the disgusting, evil children of the forest, who should have all been slaughtered. Every one of them. All of them should have been killed. And and that brings me up to this. I heard an argument saying that, oh, the children of the forest are defending their lands. They native to this land. They are not native to Westeros. They are migrants too. They migrated over to Westeros. Only ones that we know of that are native to Westeros are the giants, not the children. They came over just like everybody else.
Yep.
And they're disgusting, and that's the bottom line. And I didn't go into it anymore, but it's not even worth to be going to. But you can watch all the videos I put on it. Anybody want it with the children of the forest, bring it. Anyone want to think that they could defend the children of the forest and prove to me that they ain't evil, bring it. Because there's no way you can. You get shot down. And that's it. I do you worse than the game did to Meek Mills. I do you worse. I do you worse, son. That's the bottom line. And the game did to Benny Siegel. I do you like Ice Cube did NWA. No Vaseline.
For sure. And this is what it is. You got to be squeaky clean. You got to do the Vaseline, as some people like to say.
That's the way it be. And that's the way it is. You got anything up in there, Mo? Anything else left up in that piece?
I believe that was the last of our questions, the King's Bride question. Yes, that was the last. There's actually one more. Elevated Mind writes, will Gendry make the stag great again?
Will what?
Will Gendry make the stag great again? Basically, House Baratheon.
Oh, my God, Gendry, the damn bastard. I mean, let's go. There's two different takes of it. We got Edric Storm in the show, in the book. So if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be Edric Storm in the books. No reason to introduce him if that's not the case. I don't think Gendry will have that same role in the books as he has in the show. So I think it's Edric Storm that will be able to do that more than Gendry. What say you?
On the show, I believe they're cutting out a lot of that. They've been cut out a lot of that Edric Storm stuff, and they're going to give it all to Gendry. So on the show, yes, I totally see Gendry bring him back. We've already seen the earlier leaked pictures. I haven't seen any of the new leaks, but the old leaks with him using the Warhammer, that obviously looks like the way D&D are going in the show. He's going to reclaim House Baratheon.
Someone has brought this up and I have not even talked about it. So let me talk about it right now, real quick for everyone. While we got 103 people, we just had 106 people up here watching. This year was the first ever, and the Don means ever, Teflon TV Fantasy Football Challenge. Now, people just ask me, Tony Teflon, how did you do in this football challenge? And I will tell you this, my motherfucking people, right now. If there are two people on this panel right here, and one of these motherfuckers won it, and one person did it, and I wasn't the one who won. The winner of the first ever Tony Teflon Fantasy Football Challenge, and I'm going to tell you, had the most dominating team all year. Probably was in the league from beginning to end. Sweat me every time I played him. Beat me down every time. And effectively knocked me out of the fucking playoffs when I missed it by one game. That man is none other than my brother, Genie Linguini.
Oh, man, I feel so good. I feel so great. I just had a great draft, folks. Let me put the pythons in the air. Boom, boom, boom. Man, what a season. What a season. Le'Veon Bell took me to the land. I had so many good people. I mean, the draft was the key. You got to draft right, folks. You got to invest in your wide receivers. Have a back-end quarterback in the late picks. That's what it is. I was so honored to be in that group. We had a lot of great people. We had James Boucher. We had James Dad even in there. We had some of the guys in the chat. And it was the first ever fantasy football league. We will be doing that continuously every year. If you want to get in it, holla at me at Teflon. Send us a DM. It was fun, man. It was so fun.
No doubt. Peace out, Monero Geek. I see you bouncing. Holla at Tony Teflon inbox. I got something to talk to you about. Anyway, but besides that, let's talk real quick. I'm going to go through this. It's not that. I'm going to talk about it real quick. Oh, it was a fucked up year for Tony Teflon Fantasy Football. Fucked up. Number one, I had Josh Gordon on the bench. He was my sleeper. I picked him early thinking he would come out and help me save the day. Obviously, he didn't play all year. That really put me in a hole all year. I did battle back as best I could. But the bottom line is that I had the number 2 pick in the draft, and that was Odell Beckham Jr., and when your number 2 pick in the draft does not perform up to standards, you can't win. And I lost a lot of games. I lost was by 5 to 10 points. And if the man would have fucking just played like he played the year before, I would have won those games. But Josh Gordon, if I would have had Josh Gordon and Odell Beckham Jr., I think I would have had something going on that year. But I think that's what really messed me up in the end of it right there. But I would say that Jerry the Targaryen Steamboat, I think the guy lost the first 7 games and came back and won the next 7 in a row, you know? So he had a really good run in there. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good run. You know what I mean? For everyone in there. Brett Cole did a good showing. Everyone in there did pretty good. I don't think anyone really did. It was really, really close. Like everyone's record, except for Mo, who was out in front of everyone. But everyone in my division was like 6-6, 7. And, you know, everyone was just about tied there. Going into the final game, I think we have 4 people going for the final playoff spot. So it was close. It was close, but Mo Genie, no doubt, takes it and took it easy. Beat everyone. I think he only lost 2 games all year.
Yeah, I think people slept on Le'Veon Bell because he had the suspension and he was out for the first 4. So I got David Johnson in the first pick. I came back for Le'Veon, I think, late in the 2nd. You know, had Dak Prescott late in the 10th, even though I got, you know, Andrew Luck. I was switching back and forth between them two. You know, it was just a really good draft, and, you know, things worked out. I did have Brandon Cooks as my wide receiver. And my wide receiver slots were not that good, in my opinion. But, I managed because of how good my running backs were.
No doubt about it. No doubt. My running backs were good. I was good on running backs. They my tight end position didn't pan out. I jumped early for Gary Barnett. I thought he'd be able to do something. He didn't. I had Jimmy Graham. He didn't do it. It just was, and I missed the playoffs by 1 game, and I should have made it. So that's the way it was. I was right there till the end. It was a good season. We're gonna come back to these Song of Ice and Fire questions right now, because I know that's what y'all want to hear before we step up off this piece. 100 and something people watching. Thank you all for being here and watching. I really do appreciate that. I seen someone say there was a good question about berries. Let me see if I can find this Barry's question real quick.
Yeah, actually, Teflon.
Uh-huh.
I gotta head out in a bit, but if you're gonna keep rolling, you can keep going on.
Yeah, I'll roll for a little bit longer. I'll roll. If you bouncing out right now?
Yeah. My little brother just walked in the door right now. I gotta give him the car, and we gotta go somewhere. So I'm just wanting to let y'all know we did this for an hour and a half. I haven't been on in a while. I'm so glad Teflon hit me up this morning, said to do the video. I thought we was gonna go on for an hour, but we chilling, right? We did a long one for y'all today. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on, Teflon.
Nah, thanks for coming here, Mo. You know what I mean? Appreciate it. Ain't the same without you, brother. Me and Mo, we be back at you with another one. I'm going to stay here with you for a little bit longer. Mo, I'm going to get at you, daddy. You know what I mean? Hit me up, and we want to keep it popping. But have a good day, man, and I'll talk to you later.
For sure. Everybody, I'll see y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'll do everything I can to drop some new videos. And Teflon, me and you going to do that pyramid game. We're doing it all again, telling all the people that played with us last time in the pyramid game, we're doing it again. Just be on the lookout for it, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
We doing it again. As long as Christina the Sphinx don't get nervous. You know, that's what Don Willie said, not me. So you have to talk to Don Willie about that. That's what he told me. That's what I heard. You know what I mean? That's what I heard straight up. But good looks, my man Mo Genie, for coming through and checking it out and chilling with me on this live stream on this Sunday and getting this done. We're gonna go for a little bit longer since, you know, I still got y'all up in here with me. We got 90-something people up in here, so we ain't gonna. I ain't gonna let y'all go right now. We gonna keep going right now. We gonna go on for a little bit longer and see what it is and stuff like that. So I am going to go down to the chat. We have a question from Osman, and it says, do you think Jon was born in the crypts? That's why he dreams of it in the books. No, I think Jon was born in the Tower of Joy. I think that the dreams about him in the crypts of Winterfell is basically saying that his mother is in the crypts of Winterfell. He understands that he is not a Stark. That's why he does not wish to go down there, but he still realizes there is something down there calling him and he must go down there. The fact that he is saying that he is not a Stark, that means dealing with anything with him in the crypts is dealing with parentage. So I think that is what the whole situation will be for Jon, that he will figure out his parentage on his own at that particular time when he finally does get down to the bottom of the crypts of Winterfell. And I think the only thing that really can give him that parentage and stuff like that is the harp of Rhaegar. And I think that's what has to be down there, without a doubt. And that's it. So there it is. Now we'll see. What does this say? I try to show VA and tomorrow the last day of the package register. So contact me, let me know I am one of your Patreon. You know, Trini girl, I did see your thing on my Patreon. It's be easier if you hit me up on my Facebook page, because it's hard for me to hit you up on your thing. It doesn't allow me to highlight your thing. So if you can hit me up on my Facebook page, Teflon TV, and send me a message there, or just send me a private message on Google Hangout or something like that. Then we could talk about that. You know what I mean? But I did see that on the Patreon. I did respond to you on the Patreon too. I don't know if you've seen that, but I did get back to you. Travis Smith, Tony, been watching you for years, but you stated with the Order of the Green Hen, and they said agree with you mostly about it. Not all of their videos are real. Let's see. What was that say? Watching you here, but just stated with the Order of Green Hand, and they said you agree with about most, if not all, their videos. For real. Do I agree with most? Now, Order of Green Hand, friends of mine, do I agree with most of all their videos? It all depends what video you're talking about. I don't agree with all or most of anyone's videos but my own. So certain things, I'm sure that they said when they talking about the children of the forest, we are just about on the same page with the children of the forest. So anything dealing with that, yes. Anything else, I would have to take a look at it and to give you a answer to that. You know what I mean? There's no other way I could say that. Sir LT Giles asks, if you were in a trial by combat, Tony, who is your one champion? Who would it be? I'm representing myself. If my life is going to be on the line, I'm swinging the sword for myself. I can't put my life in no one else's hands with my own. I'm a very capable man, and I just feel that if I'm in the trial by combat, it's going to be on me. I'm living and dying by my own mistakes and my own choices, and I'm going to fight harder for me than anybody else would. Now, if you're saying I have no choice but to pick someone from the show, then I definitely will talk about this, who it is. I got thrown off by that comment in the chat right now. I'm sorry. So if I have to pick someone to fight for me, trial by combat in the show, I'm going to pick Khal Drogo to fight for me in the show. Period. If I had to have one person going, it's definitely Khal Drogo. Don't rip Tony Goon 143. Trust me, son. It ain't the size of the man to fight. It's the size of the fighting the man. Dog, I'll leave you right where you stand. And that's for real, for real. You know what I mean? I'm adept. My father was a fencer, right? You probably don't believe it, but it's the truth. My father from Brooklyn, New York, Marcy Projects, was a fencer. All right. My father was 6'7" fencer. I grew up with fencing swords in my house, the whole fencing outfit. I have fenced before. I know how to fence. So my sword play is good. In fact, I had swords all over my house because my dad, because he was into fencing and everything else like that, when he went on his honeymoon, he went to Spain. So he bought a whole bunch of swords and shields and everything from Spain. That's why I've been into all this swords and all this sorcery. That's all from my father. He was all into that stuff. I used to watch the Sinbad movies with him when I was little and stuff. And he was all into all of that stuff. So I got into all that. I've always had that in me from him and stuff like that. So I've always had all these things about swords and everything else going down and stuff. All right. Trini girl, I would say you try to hit me on my Teflon TV Facebook page if you can. That would be perfect if you can. I will try to hit you. If you can't do that, if you search for it right now, if you can, Teflon TV on Facebook. If you cannot find it, let me know. You know what I mean? Just Google Tony Teflon on Facebook. I should pop up there. It should be me. Michael Irvin says, Tony T, if the children of the forest had booty, you'd hit that. Listen, Tony Teflon is not easy, Dick. You can't just have me. I don't just go spreading myself around like that. No. Tony Teflon is the main course. I ain't nobody's jump off. I ain't nobody's side piece. That ain't how I get down. You know what I mean? It ain't like that. You know what I mean? It take more than a fat ass to get Tony Teflon. You know what I mean? You got to bring at least, it helps. It helps. But I'm saying, you got to bring a little more of that to the table. You know what I mean? That's just not the way it goes down. You know what I mean? It just don't go down like that with me. All right. Let me see. Let me go into this real quick. Sir LT Giles said his champion would be two-handed Jaime Lannister, and you would not be alive after that because Jaime Lannister is terrible. Sir LT Giles asks, who is the finest female on Game of Thrones? Right there. The finest female on Game of Thrones. That's a hard question. If I just go finest female, top to bottom, I'm judging the whole package, everything, top to bottom. I would say that. I don't really think that's a debate. In all honesty, I think you have to say Melisandre is the hottest chick on that show. I don't. But it's gonna be her. Or it's gonna be one of them sand snakes. But I like the lady who plays Oberyn's chick. I've liked her in Rome. I always had a thing for that chick. When she was in Rome, something about her. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Crazy enough, I'm going to tell you something about her face and her neck. Just is sexy to me. I don't know why. I don't know, but I always liked that chick. So I do like her. But if you're really going to say who is for their age and everything else, who's got everything going on, you have to say Melisandre. I mean, come on, man. Are you serious? Look at that. What's wrong with that? And Sansa ain't got no ass. So I seen that. And she ain't got nothing going on back there. So she gets wiped off. You know, it's hard for me to look at them a little girl. Them a little girls to me. So I can't even, it's hard for me to even look at Sansa like that. You know what I mean? She's still a child to me. Them little children to me. So I ain't into that stuff. You know, I like women, you know, so it's hard for me to say that. Let's see. Oh, India Pharma is her name? Yes. Well, Indian Pharma is a hot chick. I liked her, especially in Rome. That was my chick. You know what I mean? Melisandre's got to take it. You know what I mean? Question is, why doesn't Dany care that Jorah was a slaver? Does she know about slavery? Does she know that he was a slave? I guess she does know that's why he was outlawed for it. I don't really. That's kind of a question like, I don't think a lot of white people in that world would care that other white people are slaving, as long as it ain't them slaving a people. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it seems like right there. So I don't think it didn't affect her. It didn't do anything for her. So I don't think, why would she care about it? You know, and he's not going to do it. She says, nah, it's over. It's over. That's just the way it's going to go down. You know what I mean? So I can't. That's the only way I could see it. You know what I mean? SCS6 said he'd hit Walder Frey, Lady Bolton, Fat Walder. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm saying, I feel you on that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It says in the books that she makes that she's very vocal when she's getting piped down, and she likes to put on a good show. And Roose can't control himself when he hears the noises. So, you know, she might be doing something there. Yes, all right. So as I'm saying like that, yeah, slaves, no one cares back then. I don't think that people really care. So I don't think that would be something that holds her back from being with Jorah or anything else like that. Let's see what else is here. If there's any more questions here, I will answer them. If not, then we're gonna wrap this up. T-Baby asks, who was Tywin trying to marry Tommen to? He wanted to marry Marjorie to Jaime. If he was trying to marry Marjorie back before it all happened, I would have no idea who was betrothed to Tommen Baratheon at that time. Who did Tywin have betrothed? I have no idea who he tried to betroth him to if he was Trump back then when that was all going down. I do not know. I don't even know if that was even addressed at all in the books. If that was Tywin's plan, he was going to marry Tommen to. Jamie Sneed asks, could the faceless men that killed Pate be an agent for Euron? I mean, the faceless man that killed Pate is the same person that is playing the role of Jack and Rhaegar. So it's the same. So if you're going to say it, that person that Arya met is Jaqen, we know it's a different face. It's not a person named Jaqen, but that person as Jaqen is the person that is there with Pate. So I can't see that person being working for Euron. I just think that the faceless men have their own agenda that they're trying to do. As I said earlier in the stream, probably getting that book, Death of Dragons, and in that book is probably a form of a ballista or some type of a weapon, scorpion weapon to shoot down dragons. And probably that's what's going to go down there. Let's see what else there is. Tuki, Mello, and Daddy TV. What do you think the Flames said to Varys? To Varys, when Varys looked in the flames, I don't think Varys knows what's going on with the flames. I really don't. I think when you look at the whole situation with the Varys, what is Varys' role? What is his whole thing? I mean, his agenda and everything else has changed from the show to the books. When we look at Varys, what is Varys' role? And now, obviously, it changed over George R. R. Martin, started adding different things like the Blackfire thing he didn't intend on doing, but he started adding those things in there later. Now, when we look at it from where we're at with Varys, the only thing that makes sense for Varys is that he is definitely a Blackfire Targaryen. That's the only thing that makes sense, and that is the whole thing. So when people say Varys is here for the realm, He really isn't. He's there for the Blackfires. Now, next, all the Blackfires, the true people that should be sitting on the Iron Throne. That is what the more important question is, if you ask me. And if you ask me, the answer is definitely yes. The Blackfires are the true Targaryens that should be sitting on the Iron Throne. Without a doubt, 100%, it should be them. They were fucked by the other Targaryens out of the throne and have been ever since. But they are the ones who should have been on the throne without a doubt. Pink Glass asks, Varys is a faceless man or good at glamoring? I just think that Varys is good at disguising himself. I don't know if it's a glamour or anything else like that. I just really think it's disguised with makeup and fake wigs and things like that. I think he's pulling it off with that and acting ability. Obviously, we know that he's a mummer. He's a great mummer. So with his acting ability and some wigs and some prosthetics and stuff like that, I think he's pulling it off more like that instead of using actual glamour. I don't think Varys is glamoring himself. Panty Man asks, does that include Blood Raven? I don't know what that means. Does that include Blood Raven? So I don't know what that is. I have to go back up. Would Aegon be a good king? So we see that they say that he was trained in all different ways to become a caring person. Aegon, to become a good king, he was starved and he did this and he did this, yada, yada, yada. But we have seen straight up that the kid is very bossy and the kid wants to do what he wants to do. Jon Connington told him to do something. He refused it. He wants to lead the charge. So therefore, from the man's arrogance that he has shown already, I would think he'd be a horrible king. Period. Peace out to JD, the dragon. He had to take it off. He has to bounce right now. Thank you, JD, for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And please check out JD's channel where he is doing all of his book rereads of his new book that came out. And buy his goddamn book too, goddammit. Don't just do that. Buy his book. AU Pack Mule asks, what if my trial was a boxing match? If it was a boxing match, then there'd be no problem for me to win it. I would definitely win it. I would definitely represent myself. But if I had to pick a fighter to represent me, a professional fighter to represent me in boxing, depending on weight, if we just go by any weight, I would pick Sugar Ray Robinson without a doubt. And I put my feet up and my arms behind my head, and I know that I would win. It'd be impossible for him to lose to any fighter. Period. David Adams asks, have you heard about the new book called Book of Swords due out this year, confirmed by Amazon? I did not hear about this book, Book of Swords, David Adams. I will definitely take a look at it. If it's about all the swords in the Song of Ice and Fire, I will definitely, but I had not heard about it. T-Baby asks, who started the fight between Bracken and Blackwoods? How come they can't get along after marrying into the family numerous of times? I think it's kind of like the Hatfields and the McCoys. You know what I mean? So George R. R. Martin wanted to have his own Hatfields and McCoys in this story. So he made those people the Hatfields and the McCoys. I think it's I gotta think of it. The house, it's the Brackens that started it because the Blackwoods were already higher up, and the Brackens up jumped themselves and came up and tried to usurp them. So they're the ones who started it. Is Loras Tyrell's wound on Dragonstone is Loras Tyrell wounded on Dragonstone, or is this a ploy? You know, I always thought that it was a ploy. I always did think that he was not wounded on Dragonstone. This is just a plot, a ploy. He's not there at all. Something else is going to happen. The fact that we've seen him die in the show. Now, it doesn't really mean much because we know that he did get casted for Iron Fist, and he was doing that role, so they could have killed him off for that reason too. But the fact that he was wounded in the show does lead me to believe that it's quite possible that he could be hurt. But it makes no sense for me for him to be hurt still. So I would have to say that it is just a plot. He is not wounded. He is not injured like that, though I think he'll probably die later on. But I can't see him being injured. It's the way that they said it and the way they went about it makes me think that it's something fishy going on there. Quentin Gilliam, what up to my man Q? He asked, what are the odds that the show ends better than the books? You know, it's very hard to stick a landing. I think that's the hardest thing to do, whether it's a show or a TV show or a book. The hardest thing to me is to finish it off, is to break it down. I don't think that there's a chance in hell that the show is going to finish better than the books. I don't think. I give it a 2% chance. Chucky Mello and Daddy TV asks, why would Jon and Dany and the other major characters have a sit down with Cersei? Who would trust Cersei after that explosion? I think that when you look at that explosion real quick, you have to ask yourself, is Cersei going to get blamed for that explosion? Only people that know she did it that aren't on her side are dead. She's far away. She's nowhere around that. You've seen her looking at it. So she has plausible deniability. I don't know what the fuck happened. It must have been an act of God. I'm trying to get to my trial and the whole thing blows up. I don't think she's going to be held responsible whatsoever for the explosion. I don't think so whatsoever. All right, Derek Brooks, your question is next. Put it on there. I don't skip people's questions. I'm going to wait here until you get there. Yeah, if anyone's posting their phone number, please don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know what these people are throughout the world. I trust most people in this chat room, but there are some snakes who sneak in here and do some stuff. So I don't want nothing to have that. Just hit me on my Facebook page, probably, and we could definitely talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm waiting for this dude's question, man. I'm sitting here waiting. I seen you say something, right? Derek Brock, my man. I'm waiting for your question right now so I could answer it for you. Let's see. Tony, you doing pre-game videos this season? Yes, I will be doing the pre-game show every Sunday from 6 o'clock to the start of Game of Thrones. I will have different guests with me as always. That's how we do it. I will try to have many more people from the Game of Thrones community on there. You know, probably do it the same format. One person with me for half an hour, next person for a half an hour, go through it like that, and then switch it up the next week and then, you know, do it different like that. But we definitely doing the pregame shows. You know what I mean? T-Baby, you definitely on there. You definitely on there. There's no doubt about it. NYDA was to ask me a good question, Renee said. So let me go back and find this question. Renee says it's good, then it has to be. It is. If House Teflon was in Westeros, would you expand through marriage, coin, or conquest? I think the best way to expand your house in Westeros, this easiest way is through marriage. So I would say I have 2 daughters, so I guess that would be my role would be I would have to expand through that way. But you know, conquest is only going to lead to more disputes at any end. Anything you take, someone's going to take from you. So you don't want to go that route with it. You know what I mean? So you probably want to go through marriage. You know what I mean? Or the money route would be the way to go, be more than conquest. Let's see. Now I look for this cat. who said that I ignored his question. It says something, the name that must never be said. The name that must never be said, the great other to me, is the 13th Lord Commander. The name that must never be said is the 13th Lord Commander from the Night's Watch, who was turned into the Night's King, allowed himself to be turned into the Night's King. That's Stark. Whatever Stark that is, you want to say, whoever it is, it could be Ice Eyes, it could be whoever, it could be anyone. We know it's a Stark. Whoever that Stark is, that is the name that must never be said. We have seen that after that, his name was stripped from all the record books from the Night's Watch, which is basically saying that his name must never be said. Or records of him was removed. This is the name that must never be said. That's what I think it is. Let's go back. Up and see what is going on. I'm glad people enjoyed the pregame show videos. I had a lot of fun doing the pregame show videos. They were always a good time for me doing that. You know what I mean? I got to talk to a lot of different people and stuff. So that was always good. And I always appreciated doing that. You know what I mean? So always had a good time doing that. Question, T-Baby. How do you kill the children of the forest? I think that you can kill them just like you kill anybody else. You just got to get to them, and once you get to them, you can take them out, no problem. You know what I mean? So, the children of the forest are just the most evil people in this show. The fact that I could be debating somebody on this, I will not go into anything on it. I'll just say that if I do debate somebody on it, I will prove without a shadow of a doubt to anyone who watches the stream that the children of the forest are the evil in this book series. What are we talking about here? Trees, agree, David. Tony, scroll up. Rudy Bay posed a question. Let me see. Let me scroll up. All right, Jay Hoot, what is your question? What happens to Stannis after he beats the Boltons in the Battle of Ice? I think I said this a little bit earlier, but I'll say it again real quick if you weren't here for the earlier part of the stream. I think after he defeats the Boltons in the Battle of Ice, I think that they will dress up in the fray armor, his men. They will act like Stannis is dead. They will hold his sword up in the air. Obviously, the sword shines bright. They will act like they're celebrating like they did with the Robb Stark King of the North thing, but they'll do that with Stannis with the sword. They'll get let back into Winterfell. Once they get into Winterfell, they will then come and take the castle from him. I think that's how it goes down. Tanner Scott, what up? Jay Woot, what up? What up to everyone? Do you... Night's King. Can the Night's King be killed by dragon glass like the other walkers, or is he different? I would think that the thing about this dragon glass is not just that it's killing them, it's wiping them right out. It's not like they get touched with it and they just disintegrate. It's not even like you gotta, stab them up with it. They just touch their skin with it and they dead. So I would think that it'd be a little bit different. I think probably maybe he's immune to fire. I think that would be his thing. If anything else, that the Night's King will be immune to fire, but not the dragon glass itself or the Valyrian steel. All right. So it is getting close to 2 o'clock. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's getting close to 2 o'clock. I know that the Hypes Watch has a stream starting at 2 o'clock. Talking about the 90s movies, and those are my peoples, and I will not disrespect their stream, so I will have to end this stream before they start theirs so that everyone can go there. You know what I mean? So I appreciate all y'all for coming out here. You know what I'm saying? Again, let me say, Moji Mo, thank you for joining me here. Thank for everybody for coming over here and chilling with me. We go through the chat real quick. Thank you, Queen Strader, T Baby, Derek Brooks, the Lord of Last Hearth, Scott Tanner, Donna Crackenwood, Alicia Kingston, Alex 76, Pink Lash, T Baby, Alicia Kingston. You know they hating, but they broke though. Every time I come, they a no show. Whoop. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So Jim Young, all of y'all, you know what I mean, who came out here, Mary Latham, all y'all who came out here, represent Amber Chipman. Before we go, we will do the House Teflon tradition. We will do the Rep Your Hood. So if you can, please put in the chat where you are from. I will shout out where you are from, and then I will say peace out right after. You know what I mean? But thank you again for all attending. Please go check out all the other streams going on for the rest of the day. Please check out AU Pack Mule stream. He had a great one, Mace the Pain. He made a really good argument about Stannis Baratheon. Please check that out. Let's go through this real quick. We have Kevin West from England. We have Scott Tanner from Indianapolis. We have Kevin Wilson from England. Derek Brock from Stockton, DC. What up, T Baby? Oklahoma, IC Spots, Oklahoma, Baltimore. Renee, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Jim Young, Johnny Stark. That's moving so fast. Johnny Stark is from California. Trusky, Alicia Keyston, Brooklyn baby, Brody Bay, Cali, Aldrich 76, Charleston, West Virginia, Last Hearth, Delaware, yep, Kirk Ultima, Santa Cruz, California. We got Russia in the building. We got England, New York, Utah, the Netherlands from Illico Bear, Barry Blunt from Arizona, Sailor Diva, hey, what up to you? Jay Root from the UK, Don the Crackenwood from the ATL, Omaha's in the building, Knoxville, Tennessee, David Adams in the building, Crispina the Sphinx is in the building. Everybody's in the building, you know what I mean? So I do appreciate it. Sailor Diva rocking the D from the D, you know what I mean? Holding it down, drinking pop in the D. That's what I went out there. That's what everyone called soda pop, you know what I mean? It's weird to me. House Teflon, baby. We worldwide. We do big things. You know how it is. You know what I mean? But tell people straight up, man. I'm talking. We gonna get that done for you. You know what I mean? We gonna get these debates done. We gonna get everything done, and we gonna have some fun. So we'll probably be back again next week. I'll get another normal video that I normally do. We gonna get that done. Me and Mo, we gonna start working on this Song of Ice and Fire Pyramid. We gonna bring Christina Spinks back. And to face Don, to face Don, Willie, and James Michelle, so the match that should have took place, and then we're gonna go forward from there. So if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.